Hello and welcome to TEDx AinleyTopWomen interviews with the lovely women and a man who did a talk at the TEDx AinleyTopWomen event back in December 2019. And today I am joined by a very important lady because she's actually Wise Woman of the Year 2019. But without further ado, I'll let her introduce herself. Who are you? What do you do? Where are you from? And all that, please.
Hi, so I'm Helen Bartram. I'm from the northeast of England and I run a couple of businesses helping individuals, so the Holistic Academy Network and Blossom Academy. My passion has always lied with helping children and families, and I think I've always had this burning desire to help people in some context.
Yeah, great. So what was the reason? Why did you want to do a TEDx talk? Or did you not? And you just got thrown in? Who knows?
I did. I think as a student, I always ended up watching a lot of TED Talks. I thought, oh, one day I'll do that. I never actually foresaw that I would do it or this quickly in my life.
Yeah, cool. And what was your TEDx talk about, and what was the reason for choosing that topic?
So my TEDx was titled Confessions of a Guilty Mum, and it was all around mum guilt. And I think it's something that I'd experienced a lot. So for 10 years now, I've been a mum, and it's something that I've only became aware of in the last couple of years. And once I became aware that this was kind of a thing, I saw it everywhere. And I started working with parents and families, and I thought, wow, they're just like me. They're living this mum guilt, but they can't even see it. And I think, one, I just wanted to raise awareness that we're all experiencing this, but two, know that it's normal and we can do something about it.
Yeah, great. And I remember you sent your video in for some feedback. And I mean, the one thing I want to point out is, look, I'm an international, award-winning professional speaker coach. And at the same time, I didn't meet you in that genre. We met somewhere, but we actually met at one of my older mentees. I don't mean age-wise, but just like I mentored him about a year and a half ago, and he put on an event that we met at, which is about mindset, which was great. So you hadn't come through kind of like the professional speaker training. I remember watching your video, and you caught me out. And I'm not going to say anything more because I want people to go and watch your talk. Because at the beginning, I remember thinking a certain thing, and I'm not going to say it because it'll spoil it. You sent the video in. You're waiting for the feedback. What happens when you get the video back? And I'm saying, oh, maybe you could change this, or maybe you could change that a little bit. What happens when you got that back?
I think I surprised myself. So I remember recording the video, and I remember being aware that there was a lot of professional speakers sending their videos off too, and a small part of me thought, I haven't got a cat and hell's chance of being accepted here. So I thought, do you know what, I've got nothing to lose. I've just got to throw myself in. People need to hear this message. Remember getting the feedback and thinking, so it wasn't all that bad. So although there was tweaks, it was a bit reassuring that, do you know what, I've got a point here, and I can do this.
Yeah, it was really good. And I think that's what stops a lot of people. They think, oh, if I send something in, it's going to get, some feedback on it. The feedback was minimal in your case. I think the biggest thing that we had, if I remember, was like just wanting to stand up because as I said, you're not trained, professionally. It was like, I just want to do it. So we opened the barn here, and I'd got the red dot out, and you came down with a few of the wise counsel, didn't you? And how was that experience, in helping you towards actually doing the talk?
I think it built my confidence in doing it and my self-belief. It definitely gave me the tools that on the day I kind of just got up and went into flow and just done it because I knew what I was doing. I'd obviously been coached by you, which helped me to deliver that messaging in a really engaging, powerful way, but also give me that belief in myself that, do you know what, I can do this. And I could laugh now at the kind of run-throughs that we had at the barn and on the red dot. And I guess it's just things, even like my body structure and thinking like I was walking like a wooden doll. And like, it was just, I just needed you to be like, do you know what, relax, just be yourself. And I guess that was it, me just stepping into being myself.
Yeah, cool, good stuff. So let's go to Friday the 13th. Only I could choose that day, I suppose. Friday the 13th, where we are, we're in Huddersfield, Ainley Top. hence the name TEDx AinleyTopWomen. And what was your experience when you walked through the door and you saw everything was set up? You know, how did you feel?
Sick. I was on first, and at the time I thought, geez, this is like so much pressure. I've got to get up there and kind of set the tone for the day. But was so grateful to be on first, because then I got to relax and enjoy everyone else's. I think having had the coaching and feeling equipped to get up there and do it, like I say, I just got into flow, like having the mic on. I was like, oh geez, I'm actually doing this. Called my name and it was like something happened. I just went into autopilot, got up there and done it.
Yeah, brilliant. And then when you came off from standing on that red, you know, that famous kind of infamous red dot, and you're coming away, what are you thinking as you're walking away and you're coming back to get the microphone swapped over with the next speaker?
Indescribable. I was like, geez, I've blooming done it. Just so proud of myself, but then looking that applause and thinking, do you know what, there's meaning in this message, and thinking, if I can do this, anyone can do this. Obviously I needed some guidance and help to feel like I could stand up there and believe in myself and deliver that in a really engaging way. But actually, I guess it's one of them things that, geez, if I can do that, I can do anything. Yeah,
brilliant. Yeah, it was good. And of course, you know, like you said, you were first on, and there's a reason why you were first on. Again, we're just doing a little bit of incompletion there, so people go, oh, I wonder why that is. So watch the TEDx video, and you'll understand why. So sorry, what was the topic again? What was the title?
Confessions of a Guilty Mum.
Confessions of a Guilty Mum. So you'll find out why if you watch it. So there will be a link, of course, underneath this interview for you to be able to click on, which I hope you will. So then we kind of went into Christmas, didn't we? Because it's like mid-December. You know, we've not got any meetings. We're not seeing each other for a little while. And then around about, I think, 2nd or 3rd of January, it starts to come through with, you know, X so-and-so's talk has been approved, so-and-so's talk has been approved. What were you feeling at that stage when you could see that other people, because we've got a little WhatsApp group going at that stage with like a 24-hour round the clock monitoring system, you know, it's like, it's up, Sally's is up, Sarah's up, you know, whoever it was, and so there's a bit of this going on. What are you thinking before you know that yours has been approved?
I hadn't actually till that point realised that the wider world was going to see this. So I initially started the journey for me and thinking, I want to do that. That's kind of like a goal that I want to achieve. There was so much commotion in the lead up to TEDx. I flew out to Disneyland Paris and there was airstrikes, and I thought, I'm not even going to get to do it. Remembered landing in the UK, and within 48 hours I was on the red dot. And then after that, I think I just breathed. And then it was only in the January that I thought, man, people are going to see this. Like, is it going to be good enough? Is it going to resonate with anybody? What happens if I've totally forgot something or tripped up and I've just kind of deleted it from my head? So a whole other spiral of questions then started coming out. So yeah.
Yeah, cool. And then of course you're approved. You're up on the TEDx website. You're on their YouTube channel and everything. And then let's be honest, there were some people who made comments, weren't there? So do you want to just share, because I think this is one of the biggest. Maybe I think this is what stops a lot of people actually doing what you did. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, it's hard enough to do it. And then, you know, there might be some people who don't agree with your opinion, of course. So you had one person I remember distinctly, you know, making a comment on the page. So how did you feel? You know, you've gone to all this effort, you're doing it for the best of the best reasons. And then someone goes, I don't like this, or whatever it was. How did you cope with that?
Yeah, so I think TEDx, the whole journey, taught me a lot of lessons, and this was the biggie for me. So when it initially went live, I was overwhelmed with messages saying, this literally brought me to tears, thank you for sharing this, it resonated with me, to the point that I was so emotional, and I thought, I've done the right thing here. I've helped all these mums know that their experience is normal. And then there was one particular person who didn't agree with what I had to say and kind of started putting other world issues on my shoulders and saying that the world is how it is because of people like you. And it stopped me in my tracks. And I remember kind of reading the messages, and some friends were kind of jumping on and to my defense. And I was like thinking, whoa, what, like, I never ever set out to offend anybody. And I think what it taught me is you can't please anybody. I spent probably 3 hours that day rereading this guy's messages, thinking maybe I should have done it differently, maybe I should have been more open, maybe I should have looked at another perspective. And then I had to have a big word with myself, and be like, you know what, this is one person, look at these hundreds of messages that you've received and the people that you've helped. In doing that, we're never going to be able to please anybody, and by me being vulnerable and courageous and speaking out about my experience, that's helped so many people. I can't help that person. I'd obviously just triggered them with something that I'd said or done, and I can just send them love and light and focus on me.
Yeah. And I think it's fair, you know, for us to say that it was a guy, you know, that said, you know, well, you know, guys have guilt as well. You know, well, you never said that guys don't have guilt. You know, you were just particularly talking about one episode. But it's true, because the thing is, what happens is, you know, people get triggered. You know, it's like, and there's a new analogy that I was trying to explain with my husband this morning, is like, it's almost like, you know, people have their own shit. And they have a bubble that holds that shit in. And then every now and again, without you even knowing, someone will poke it and all the shit comes out, you know, or they'll knock you and the shit's ragging around inside this bubble. So actually, when you look at it in that perspective, you know, whatever it was that you said, you know, it popped his bubble, or it ruffled his bubble, if you like. And actually nothing to do with you. It was the shit that he was already in, right? And that doesn't mean to say that, you know, he can't be helped, and there could be another, you know, TEDx, you know, talk out there that might help him, or other people to help him. But it's really difficult, because I believe this is one of the reasons, as I said before, why people don't put themselves out there, because they're afraid of the one. And I do remember, you know, like you remember you texted me, and you were like, you know, and I don't know why I'm focusing on the one, you know, and I was like, because it hurts, because, you know, your intention is pure. You know, you've not set out to upset anybody. That wasn't your intention at all, just to help and support a few other people. You know, in your case, it was women. And then this one person comes up, do you know what I mean? So as Dita Von Teese says, you can be the juiciest, ripest peach in the fruit bowl, and some prefer apples. Yeah. So that's just kind of where it is, isn't it? It is difficult. It shows you're a human. You know, because you were like, oh, I don't want, but not everybody's going to like you. You know, you could say white is white, and somebody else says, no, it's orange. And you're like, no, it's not. And they're like, no, it's definitely orange, because they have their own view. So, yeah, it was a good lesson. Not a pleasant one, but, you know, very important message for when you're trying to get more stuff out there, which is great. Good stuff. So in terms of, so the video's up now. So how's the TEDx video actually helped? You know, how's the whole thing? You said you had lots of people supporting you to begin with. What's happened since? Yeah, so I think it's just a fab signpost of the amount of people that probably reach out to me now, or if I'm working with mums or families and can see that they're experiencing the same thing, I'm like, go watch the TED Talk. And I think it's a fab signpost, but equally it's also a connector. So I've had people come to me saying, wow, I've seen your TEDx, I've never heard anybody articulate it like this. Can I work with you? How can you help me further? And I think it's just a fab foundation for making noise about the issue, and I guess leading to further help if needed. Yeah. I mean, and since the TEDx, I mean, you went on, I mentioned at the beginning, you know, you won the Wise Woman of the Year 2019, but you've done so many other things since then as well. What else have you been doing since the TEDx talk? So I finished a degree in a global pandemic and got a first. Woohoo! Become a property investor. So I'm currently renovating some holiday lets and got some single buy to lets. Set up a new business, Holistic Academy Network, so helping people that feel lost or stuck on their spiritual or personal development journey, but also raising awareness for holistic approaches out there. And I think, again, just helping children, so putting together a children's mental health program that's going to launch the 1st of August 2020, depending on when you're watching this. But yeah, lots of exciting things. And I think just kind of working and being coached with yourself has just really given me that self-belief that I needed. So I'd had all these burning desires and passions, the TEDx being one, just not, I guess, dared to stand up and shine. And now I feel I'm able to do that. And you went to America, didn't you, for a week or a couple of weeks? Boston. Yeah, on a training course, which was fantastic. So, and even that would be a big deal for me. So the whole mum guilt would have crept in.
leaving 2 children at home, obviously with the father, but I would never have been able to justify that beforehand. I would have made up a million excuses why I would be a better mum if I stayed at home. But actually going out there and learning all these new things that I can teach them, and leading by example, I guess, chasing your dreams. That, yeah, definitely transformational year, I think.
Yeah, good stuff. So if there's somebody out there and they wanted to do a TEDx, women TEDx online as they're doing now, any kind of TEDx talk, what would you say to them if they were thinking, oh, I don't know if I can do this?
That there's somebody out there that needs to hear your message, and it takes vulnerability and courage, but with that you can help others.
Yeah, brilliant. Good stuff. So on that note, I'm going to say thank you so much for sharing your vulnerability, for having courage, and of course sharing your message with others. Thank you very much. See you soon. Bye. Oh, just before I say goodbye though, where can people get in touch with you, Helen?
So you can find me on Blossom Academy on Facebook, or blossomacademy.co.uk. That's probably the best place to find me.
Yeah, good stuff. Okay, great. Thank you very much. Speak to you soon. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.